and I'm here today to tell you about what we do here at the Academic Studio and what we can provide to all our students. So first of all, our Academic Studio, we offer computer services along with printing. You get 10 pages each day, free printing for whatever you need. I believe we also have a scanner, and along with that, we have tutors available for different subjects. I'm not entirely sure of the list of subjects we have. Morgan, can you help me out with the subjects we have available?
Yes, so I'm Morgan Powell. I help run a few assistance programs in the studio for CTC students. We'll get more into that later. But for now, the studio offers all maths and all sciences. We also do statistics, contemporary math, dosage calc, which is important for you nursing students. We do offer assistance for the HESI, which is the nursing test. We do offer English and writing and paper reviews. Then we also have speech, and we do have a couple tutors who specialize in teaching you how to research. We do have psychology, speech, Spanish, history, computer, and then we do offer TSI help too, which is important for those of you who haven't taken your TSI yet and are able to take all of those math and science and English classes. We offer help with those.
Yeah, I provide a bit of TSI for the English and writing. I really advise all students to take advantage of our paper reviews for all your writing assignments. That way you do your first draft. You don't have to worry too much about the revising because I used to get so anxious about it to the point where I wouldn't revise my papers and my professors would tell me, you failed this because you didn't revise it. And once I learned how to revise, it things became so much better. But so we'll help you learn how to revise through our paper reviews because we only provide comments for you to read and to see what you want to do to your paper. We don't actually do it for you. So that way you can learn more. We also help with formatting, which a lot of people, sometimes when you start a new program or something, you're like, oh, I didn't know APA or MLA. We can help you out with that for sure. And we also have a few more things, like we have academic advising, right, with Charlotte.
Yes, Miss
And
Charlotte Wesley does academic suspension and appeal advising. She has drop-in advising Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4, but you can also reach her through email or phone at any point in the day when CTC is open. Her phone number is 254-526-3072, and then it is charlotte.wesley@ctcd.edu, and we can go ahead and put those in the chats, I believe.
yes, and so along with that, we can also provide a little help if you have questions and stuff about different services. We even have maps up in the front if you get lost on campus. So we're right in front of the cafeteria. If you show up and go straight across up the stairs, you'll find the maps right there of all the updated numbers of the buildings and everything. We also can help sometimes if you have questions about logging into things, and sometimes we can help as tutors as well. We provide a lot of support to the students, but if we can't help you out, we'll find who can help you out, and we'll give you all the information on who to go to.
Yes, and I don't remember if we said it before, but we are located upstairs in Building 220, which is the Student Center, which is right across from the bookstore in the Anderson Campus Center. Um, we are open Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we are not open on Fridays currently, but I am here on Fridays from 7:30 to 11:30 to give you your textbooks and things if you are in my programs. Um, do we have anything else about the studio, Alexis?
Maybe go further a bit about the textbook lending program. We haven't mentioned much about
Yeah.
your program.
So, right quick before I talk about my programs, we also have study spaces. It's not just an area you come and get tutoring. If you want somewhere quiet to study, we do have the balcony and you do have tables that you can come use. Um, this area is usually fairly quiet. There were not a rowdy bunch. You can also come and study with friends. You can use group study. We are going to be offering face-to-face tutoring again this semester. And we also offer online tutoring. If you Google CTC Academic Studio, the very first link that pops up is our studio, and it has all of the information that we're telling you today. And it also has how to access the online tutoring, but you can also contact us through phone at the at 254-526-1580 or ssuccess@ctcd.edu, and we can make appointments then. And then the drop-in advising for Miss Charlotte is through our studio. It is upstairs in building 220, not the enrollment center. And this is for academic suspension and appeal students. So if you're failing and you realize that you're going to be put on suspension, she can help you with getting assistance instead of failing and ruining your GPA. She can help you with that. Okay, so then for my programs. Again, I am Morgan Powell. I do textbook lending and childcare assistance mostly. Textbook lending is a program where you can basically loan your books for free for the semester. All you have to do is fill out an application and be qualified. The qualifications are you do have to have an AAS or a CC degree plan. AAS is an Associate of Applied Science, and then CCs are certification of completions. General studies and transfer degrees do not count, unfortunately. So we have AAS and CC degree plans. If you have a question, you are more than welcome to contact me or the Academic Studio front desk because they are able to tell you if your degree plan qualifies or not. And then you do have to have a GPA of 2.0 or more. If you are a first semester student, that GPA requirement will be waived. But and then you have to, for textbook lending, if it is a long semester, you do have to have at least 6 credit hours. If it is a short 8-week semester like summer, you only need to have 3 credit hours to qualify. And then you have to show financial need, which is one of our biggest requirements. That can be done through providing your Pell Grant award letter, and it cannot be the one you get from the government. It has to be the one from CTC on your financial aid webpage on WebAdvisor. You can also provide proof that you receive WIC, TANF, or SNAP, which are 3 government assistance programs. Usually I will accept a transaction statement and a picture front and back of your card attached to your application. We can work out other things though if you don't have any of that. Just speak to me and I'm more than willing to work anything out. And then the last thing is if you don't have any of that, you can use a copy of your 1040 from the previous year. So for this semester, you would submit your 1040 from 2020, which is a tax document. When you fill out your taxes, it's what you get in your return. It should say up in the very top corner, 1040, and then you submit all the pages that say 1040. To qualify income-based for the 1040, it does depend on how many members are in your family. For one person right now, I believe it is 23,000 that you have to be at or below to be qualified. So that's it for textbook lending. So those are all the qualifications. Once you're done applying, which is on eTrieve, which is also called Student Forms, which you can find on the main webpage. And I can, I believe, actually share my screen with you guys to show you where I'm going with all of this. So you're not just listening to me ramble. Okay. All right. So this is the main homepage right here. What you will do is go to Students, and then you will go to over on the far right, Student Resources, and you click on Student Forms. And then you will click Use eTrieve Login. And this is my personal one. Let's log back in. So this is the page you will see. Your username is C and your ID number, just like WebAdvisor and Blackboard. And then your password. I do not know your initial password, so you'll have to contact Student IT to get that, which is 254-501-3103, and they will be more than willing to help you. Do not sign in with Google. The form will not appear if you do that. So once you're signed in, you will pull up the application, and I'm just going to pause sharing real quick while I sign in to pull up the application. So then you will then click on forms right here, and then you will search text, and textbook lending will pop up. And then you will fill out all of your information and attach all of the forms that I talked about briefly, which is the 1040, your WIC, your TANF, your SNAP, any of those. Then your class schedule to prove that you have at least a minimum of 6 credit hours. Then your unofficial transcript will prove your GPA. And then your CTC degree plan, you do have to have one signed by the registrar. If you contact advising and tell them you need a degree plan for textbook lending, they will be able to help you. They know what I'm looking for. And then one of our questions is books for lending within AAS degree. Are they core class books only or for more specific classes? It is any class as long as it is not a retake and it is on your degree plan. I have made exceptions where it doesn't look like that class is on your degree plan, but I've spoken with an advisor and you've got that requirement waived to mean that class is substituted for a class on your degree. I will give you the book then because it is fulfilling something on your degree plan. It does have to come on your degree plan. I cannot give you a book for retakes if you fail a class and next semester you want the books for it again. I cannot provide those. But usually it's pretty easy to get your books. So then you'll fill out that application and it'll come to me. I will process it within 2 to 3 business days. And if you get an email from me that says, hey, you didn't attach all this stuff, try to get it back to me as soon as possible because then that's the fastest you can get your books. I am dependent on getting your books from the bookstore. If I do not already have them in stock, I do have to wait for the bookstore to have them in stock, which can take a while, I know. So if the bookstore's out and you realize that you need them, and then you come to me and I'm like, hey, do you have the books? Yeah, you're approved, but I still have to wait for the bookstore too. So not always does it mean that you're going to get them before the bookstore does. And then, so I believe that's everything for textbook lending. Okay, actually that is not. My bad. You cannot write in the books. Please do not write in the books. They do have to be usable when you return them. If you lose them, you do have to pay for them. If they are unusable when you return them, you have to pay for them. It depends on the price of the book, but we do go based off of the brand new price that we paid for at the bookstore. But we haven't had somebody lose a book or destroy a book beyond usability in a few semesters. It is not usually a problem. And then, so what you'll do is you'll come up to the academic studio and we will sign the books out. You'll sign a little piece of paper that says, yeah, I received my books. I understand I'm not allowed to damage them and all of that. I will sign it to say that I gave you the books, and then you will sign it to say that you received the books. And then on that paper, we'll also have the due date. It depends on each semester. For the fall semester, right now, they are due back on December 10th, which is the last day of classes. The following week, by Friday, everything needs to be turned in, or a hold will be placed on your account, which means you cannot register for spring classes. And until the book is either returned or you have paid for it, the hold will remain. And then, so to return the books, you will come up to the front desk at the Academic Studio, which is again building 220 upstairs. There will be a little slip of paper that you're going to fill out. It'll say what books you're returning, what time you're returning them, your name, your email, and if you have any comments or questions, and then you leave your books with the front desk, and then I will pick them up from them and send you an email saying, yeah, I got your books, you're all good to go, and then that's it. So then for the other program that I have uh, at the studio is childcare assistance. It is also only applied for CTE students, which is the AAS or CC degree plans. But this is for childcare assistance. You will get a monthly stipend that will be paid to your childcare facility. The money does not exchange. Your hands, my hands, it goes from the business office to your daycare facility. And that you will receive if qualified and approved. It is $50 a week for up to 3 children. So if you have 2 children, you can get up to $100 per week. For example, next week, since Monday is a CTC closed holiday, you would only receive $80 for 2 children instead of 100 because we do not pay for days the CTC is not open because we are trying to provide assistance for students to send their kids when they're in class. And if CTC is closed, we're not providing assistance because you should theoretically be able to watch your children that day. And then, so for the childcare assistance requirements, it is the same requirements as textbook lending. The only difference is that you have to be full-time, which means 12 credit hours or more for the fall semester. And that means you do have to submit your class schedule, just like the textbook lending. Words are escaping me right now. So you need to have your unofficial transcript as well to prove that you have the 2.0 GPA. You do have to have an AAS or a CC degree plan. You need to be in 12 credit hours or be in clinicals. That is the thing I was forgetting. If you are a nursing student or a student in the medical field degree plans and you have clinicals, those count as full-time whether or not you're full-time credit hours because you have to go to all these places and spend so much time. We constitute that as full-time. And that will say on your classes, when you turn in your schedule, if you're in clinicals or not, because we see the name of the classes. So that's how we know if you're in clinicals or not. And then you do have to have a signed degree plan by an academic advisor. And again, you need to show financial need, which can be your Pell Grant Award letter on WebAdvisor, your WIC, TANF, or SNAP, which again can be a picture front and back of your card with a recent transaction statement, as long as it says your name and the card name on the transaction statement. And then your 1040 from last year would also work. We do have a question. If you are in an EKG or other CE program, will a student be able to use the child care book lending programs? Your degree plan has to say AAS or CC in the short form of the name when you look at it. If you call me, which is 254-526-1357, or email me, which is mpowell@ctcd.edu. I'll be more than happy to look at your degree plan and tell you specifically if you qualify or not before you go through all the work of filling out the application and attaching everything. On the CTC homepage, you can look at all of the lists of degree plans. And if you click on yours, it will say AAS or CC if you in the top of it to know if you qualify or not. Okay, so we've covered what needs to be attached, which is your degree plan, your unofficial transcript, your class schedule, your financial need, and the other thing for childcare that is different is you need to attach birth certificates for each child you're applying for. If you do not attach a birth certificate, I will return your application and have you submit one. You also need, if your daycare is not already a vendor with us, which means we already have a contract worked out with them, you will need to attach a picture of their Texas Child Care Provider license, which should always be displayed if they are a daycare facility. Which now brings me to my next thing. We cannot provide funds to random daycares. Like, I can't provide funds if you're having your mother watch your children. She has to be a licensed daycare facility. Um, if they have a Texas license, they're good to go. Submit a picture of it, and then attach it and submit your application. The daycare should know where theirs is and it should be visible to you at all times. That is a requirement for state law. But if you go to the front desk at your daycare and say, hey, I need a picture of your childcare facility license to get some assistance with the program, they should be able to point you to it and you can take a picture of it. I will accept just a picture. It does not have to be a scan or a PDF or anything fancy. And that actually qualifies for all of the attachments. I will accept pictures or screenshots. The only thing that has to be signed is the degree plan, and even then, if you have a physical copy and you take a picture of it, I will accept that. Okay, so then the childcare assistance is a little different when it comes to once you're actually qualified. You will, once you're qualified and I've approved your application, you will receive an email from me that has a CTC contract in it. It is to be returned in 5 business days, and you and your childcare facility are to sign it. There are initial spots at the bottom of each page. You both have to initial it. And on the very last page, there is a little spot that says daycare facility and your name that need to be signed with a date. So once I get that back, I will submit it to the correct people. And once everything's processed, you will receive from me an award letter that states, for this semester, for this many children, you will be receiving assistance, and it will cover the dates. For the fall semester, it will say 8/23/21 to 12/10/21 if you are taking a full 16 weeks. If you are only taking 8 weeks of classes in this semester, you will only be covered for the time you're in classes, and you will only be covered for the time you are in full time. If you're taking 8-week classes and you have a full term of 8-week classes, but then you're only taking 1 8-week classes at the end, you don't get assistance for the last 8 weeks because you're not considered full time still. So then all of that paperwork will go through and you will receive your award letter. Your daycare will receive something a little different. They will receive a copy of the contract signed by me and the people who need to sign it at CTC, and they will also receive a copy of the award letter that you received. And that is the last thing that needs to be done for your end. For the daycare, I will send them once a month at the end of the month a timesheet that they need to then sign and then either scan, mail, or have a physical copy brought to me. And that's something that's super simple. I provide instructions to the daycare in the email on how to sign it and how to return it. And once that is signed and returned, I will, through my end, put that through, and then you will have the money sent to you. Anything that is for your daycare that is left after my stipend is up to you to pay. If you have $1,000 a month bill for your childcare facility and I only provide you 400, you are still responsible for the extra 600. And then that is it for how it all goes through. And for both of my programs, you will have to apply each semester. This is not your entire degree plan, you're done, yay. No, each semester you do need to fill out an application and return it to me. And then do we have any questions, any comments? Did I miss anything?
I don't have any questions in the WebEx chat at this time.
Awesome. Alexis, you think we covered everything?
I'm pretty sure we got most of, if not all, the services that we provide for the students.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you may want to do, Morgan, is if you want to share your screen of your webpage, walk people
Yes.
through how to get to your webpage. That way they can kind of, if they missed anything, they'll know where to look for it and who to contact, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Share screen 2. Okay. So CTC main homepage. What you'll do is Ctc Academic Studio. And it'll be the very first link. This is our page. It has our hours of operation, which need to be updated. Sorry about that. we offer on the side. We are part of Student Success and Persistence, which means we can point you in the right direction and provide some information on career services, disability support services, new student orientation, and all of that. And more information is on those pages right there. But this is the generals of what we provide at the studio. We do provide online tutoring by appointment. We do provide face-to-face tutoring with an appointment, but we also take walk-ins for face-to-face. We do provide proofreading and with speeches. And if you have speech classes, which we did forget to mention earlier, if you have a speech class and you were required to present it to so many people, you can come do that up here. We will gather everybody in the studio until we meet your requirement for your teacher, and then you'll give the speech. We do allow you to record it if it is a requirement for your teacher. And we also will have everybody sign off and say, yes, I was here. Here's my email. Here's my name. So your teacher knows that you're not just making up a bunch of people. We do have computers again. We do have drop-in advising. We do have printing services. When speaking of the printing services, you only get 10 pages free per day. You are not allowed to print over 10 pages because we do not accept money. If you need to print more than your 10 pages, please go to the library. They do accept money. And then for the student success and persistence, for my specific page, you will click on over here on the side, textbook lending and childcare assistance. On here will be my email and my contact information all the way at the bottom, where I am located, how to return books. There's also these step-by-step instructions on how to find the applications and attach everything, and what is required for each assistance application. And then for the childcare assistance application, when it's the same steps as finding it on eTrieve as the textbook lending one, all you need to do is instead search child and fill out the child care assistance application. I think I've covered everything. I'm sure I'm gonna go home tonight and go, oh my God, I completely forgot that thing to mention. But if you feel like I missed something, please contact me and I will be more than willing to help you.
Sounds good, Morgan. I think you covered quite a bit. I don't have any questions in the WebEx, but I would remind those who are watching and listening that this will be converted to a YouTube program later today. And if there's something that a person watching needs to refer back to or use as a resource in the future, it will be available on YouTube, which I will send you guys the link and you can share that as well. But so just know that those watching will be able to access this session again in the future if they need to refer back.
All right.
Any questions on Facebook? No, she has none on Facebook right now. So, okay. All right. Any last words of wisdom for our viewers, either Alexis or Morgan, that you would like to share to kind of make their path easier to use your services or to take advantage of your services?
I would
Please.
urge everyone to take advantage of any service here. Like I said, from my experience, I did a bachelor's of social work, but in a different school at UTIP at El Paso. And whenever I took advantage of the paper reviews or any type of tutoring, it just made my experience with any class I was struggling with so much better. And I ended up getting near perfect hundreds in those classes. So
Right.
please take advantage of anything that you think you're struggling with. Go ahead and call us.
Yes, we are more than willing to help. And if you think it is not something that we help with, there might be a tutor who can at least help some of your class. If you're taking a really specific nursing class and you don't know what's going on, we do offer test taking tips. We do offer study skills. We also offer math tutors. So if with a tutor may not be able to specifically help with the nursing content, but they can help you with the math portion of your nursing content. So again, please just call us. We are more than willing to help with anything. And if we don't know it, we will find out or point you in the right direction.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much, Morgan. Thank you, Alexis. And if you don't mind typing in the contact information once again for the Academic Studio or Student Success, we'll put that in the chat, and so anybody can get one last screenshot there of the of your contact info.
There is the studio. It is again ssuccess@ctcd.edu. It is 254-526-1580. And then I will go ahead and put my contact information again, which is mpowell at sorry, that is my student one, mpowell@ctcd.edu. And then my phone number is 254-526-1357.
Great.
Should I provide my email for paper reviews in case?
Sure, definitely do that.
Okay. Just kidding. So,
And if you wanted to speak to Alexis about paper reviews and scheduling an appointment, and you did not want to email, you can also contact the main phone line for the studio, which is the 526-1580 number, and you can speak to her when she is in-house.
Great.
sorry, it's taking me a while.
You're good.
And there you go.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. We certainly hope that students will take advantage of the services that you guys offer. It's a great service, and free services for tutoring, especially because, that's one thing that we always encourage students. If they don't speak up and they know they're struggling, they're going to continue to struggle. So if you talk to your faculty members, here's another outlet for you to reach out to the Academic Studio, and they will provide you the assistance that you need. So you don't have to struggle alone. You will overcome those struggles with their help. So again, we that's why we provide these services, and that's why these ladies are here. So again, student success, and that's exactly what the name implies. We want you to be successful. We want you to succeed in your career and academic endeavors here at CTC. So again, don't hesitate to reach out if you need assistance.
All right, thanks for having us, everybody. Please contact us if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you for joining this session about the Academic Studio.
All right. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you.